This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
TCO Performance Center, we think continuing coverage of Training Camp 25 here on the Fan. Afternoon practice scheduled for 2:30 today outdoors. They brought the tackling dummies in and out, the Gatorade in and out and in and out. We kind of get the feeling practice will be indoors now, and because they're less than a half hour away from practice starting, the rain's coming down pretty good. And as we talked about before, when you've invested $300 million in free agents and all the other money you have invested in the team, you don't want a guy out there practicing and all of a sudden because of the very wet playing conditions, all of a sudden tears a knee to shreds. You don't need that happening.
Keep in mind they have a full scale practice field inside of TCO. Unlike, remember the Winter Park and they had the bubble out there, and you couldn't punt the ball without it hitting the ceiling. It's like the old Metrodome hitting a ball up towards the roof, which would or off a speaker. You were really limited at Winter Park. Not so here. They can't get as much done because obviously look at the expanse of green grass they have out here.
They're just protecting their investment. You can't have these guys. You can't have these guys out here playing right now and risking injury because you wanted to practice outdoors in the rain. It's not going to work that way.
No rush.
I think JG, is he back yet? Is he still in Las Vegas for the Big Ten?
Still in Vegas.
Still in Vegas.
Yeah, I was going to say PJ Fleck talked to the media today. So
why Vegas?
I don't know. But the Big Ten continues to push for a 16-team playoff, and it's interesting. I think it's the commissioner of the Big Ten, Tony Petitti, is that his name?
They changed. I don't even know who that is anymore.
They put a proposal together. They call it the 4-4-2-2-1-3 proposal. In other words, multiple automatic qualifiers from power conferences, 4 from the Big Ten and the SEC, 2 each from the ACC and the Big 12. And then they would also award a berth to the highest-ranked group of 6 champion with 3 at-large selections made by the CFP selection committee. Well, awful convenient for the Big Ten to say we want to have 4 automatic bids, and the SEC too. And I know those are the power conferences, and they have a lot of good football there. And look, you could make the argument that 8 of the best teams in the country are almost always going to come out of those 2 conferences. But this idea of these automatic bids, it's like, I know they have automatic bids in the NCAA as well, and that's a 64-team field, so you still have a lot of at-large bids. I don't know. I guess it makes sense, but I'm of the opinion it's like, so automatic bids. So what if the Big Ten is a little bit down? And what if your 4th Big Ten team's got like a 7 how many games do they play? 12? Has like a 7-5 record or 8-4. Is 8-4 really? I get it. An 8-4 Big Ten team is probably going to be better than a 10-2 Western Athletic Conference team. But
you think of Indiana last year, which was a surprise team and made their way through. I know this year, reading about it, of course, it still is a 12-team format.
Yeah, this is just a proposal by the Big Ten. The Big Ten keeps pushing it, and they're pushing it again. I think at their at the Big Ten days.
So much money involved and beyond what's already happening. So I can understand why they're trying to do that, to try to take advantage of every opportunity to cash in another weekend of football or 2. It's just the way of the world. I mean, it just is.
And I think the proposal, if I read this story correctly, it says Petiti reiterated the Big Ten and SEC hold sole authority over deciding the playoff's future format, though only after good faith discussions with the other conferences, as outlined in a 2024 Memorandum of Understanding. The 10 FBF conferences in Notre Dame are not scheduled to meet again until September 24 in Chicago, giving time for alternative proposals to be developed. At their recent media days, the ACC and Big 12 reaffirmed support for a 5+11 format, along with proposed adjustments to strength of schedule metrics and the introduction of a strength of record analytic for the selection committee. Because, that makes sense too. Because let's say we'll use, I think PJ's kind of upped his non-conference schedule a little bit occasionally. Of course, we've bought out of some of them too, but. If you have a soft preseason schedule and you go to 3-0, and then you're the fourth best team in the Big Ten, but you go, well, you beat three teams that were almost gimmies. Right. I don't know which proposal is the best. Yeah, but. Yeah, three Oswalds.
Yeah, the SEC is in favor of it, and they've already talked about it. Of course they are. They've gained some traction in their meetings, and how quickly can the sports leaders can make a flurry of these decisions to make it happen for 2026 to expand from 12 to 16. To me, it's inevitable as the NFL expanding to 18 games.
Well, the SEC Commissioner, Greg Sankey, said he remains open to ideas, but has leaned toward a format with more at-large bids, which I think, that's what I think they should do.
I agree, 100%.
While SEC athletic directors aligned with the Big Ten during joint meetings last fall and winter, SEC coaches broke ranks at spring meetings in June, voicing interest in that 5+11 proposals. Yeah. In other words, I think 11 at-large bids, and I like that too. And look, we've seen this happen before where. Who was it? Was it Cincinnati ended up getting in, and I don't even remember how well they fared. I think they got. There's always a couple of teams that get in. It happens in NCAA basketball too. Yeah. A team will get in when they fatten up their record, when they're really probably not as good as some of the better teams in the country.
It goes without saying that the more they expand, the less. Not that it already hasn't achieved that. The less significance all these other bowl games have. The Gophers get involved in one, and it's great. PJ gets excited, and he should. I mean, that's you earn that right to play. Hopefully a decent team, and some guy wearing an odd-colored sport coat comes up to you and says, "We want you to play in our bowl game," and down in Mississippi someplace, or in I don't know, Nashville, which isn't bad. But those games,
Music City Bowl,
and all these, you just make fun of the names of these bowl games, and we covered a bunch of them. We've seen it, but until you get in that big, the hunt for the big chase, that doesn't now more than ever. It really doesn't put a stamp on your program to try to compete with those.
Do you
guys.
think this Gophers club has a chance to get into a Big Ten championship game?
Well, there's no Big Ten championship game.
They don't do that anymore. When did they start?
They don't have divisions anymore. They just have one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did stop
one,
that.
Whatever.
Well, why would they do that?
They still wouldn't do a championship, though?
What's
don't
that?
They do a
They still wouldn't do a championship? Just financially, you'd think they would do it.
Well, they don't
television.
They don't have the divisions anymore.
Yeah, we can still do the top two teams.
Well, maybe they did last year, and I don't remember that.
They're
a Big Ten championship
still
game. To answer your question while you're looking that up,
big.
I think PJ is keeps pushing the needle. That's why he just got another contract extension.
Yes, there is still a Big Ten conference.
Okay.
The Big Ten will continue to host its annual championship, the top two teams in the overall
go.
conference standings.
So
it's a big one. Do you think we can ever get there?
Yeah.
Do you think we get there this year?
Probably not. I think you'd probably look at Penn State and the usual suspects: Penn State, Ohio State.
I don't know. They don't got J.J. McCarthy anymore.
Michigan.
Do you think they'll get there in the next 5 years?
Yes.
Bet.
I'm not going to be around 5 years from now working on this show.
Wow, breaking news.
Well, he still knows where to find you.
I know. Yeah, I'll take that $12 you owe me and put it on.
I do owe you $12.
I don't know. I think that PJ's taking advantage of every opportunity he has, whatever nil money he gets, and obviously the other money they're getting from the $20 million that's being passed along to all the programs. The recruits that it used to be the old standby. They're not they're not getting the top Minnesota players. You got to close the borders. Well, I think among other ones, Coy Parrish is he's going to be playing out here at Winter Park, the new Winter Park, in a couple of years.
Do you think the Vikings will draft him?
I'd hope they will. I think when Harrison Smith retires, and probably be my goodness, it's pouring out.
I don't think the Vikings will get him because
they probably won't.
He's going to be a high draft pick, and we're going to be winning a lot of big games.
Yeah, we're going to be drafting 31, 32.
But I'm excited to see if he does the old. I mean, he's going to.
Or Kwesi will trade away our picks by then.
Is it possible that this stage that we're sitting on could just float away eventually? I mean,
I'm more concerned about lightning, to be honest with you.
I've not seen this much rain in one time in a 2-hour period like we've seen. I mean, it's just been...
Yeah, it was...
there have been a couple of times where it's stopped briefly, but it's coming down harder than it's come down all day.
Yeah, and that's why they canceled the Torchlight Parade tonight. I saw on my little handheld device that it was supposed to... clear up by 3 o'clock. So
that's what I thought.
Yeah, well, it's not 3 o'clock yet. So let's see how quick the meteorologists who run the websites are going to be.
You have to remind me: is this the year we don't have Michigan and Ohio State, or was that last year?
That was last year. I think they got Ohio State. Let's look at the Gopher schedule here. While you're
I thought we got bludgeoned by Michigan early on in September.
We're at Ohio State October 4th.
Yeah, because I think we weren't we leading Michigan at the half, or only down a point, and then we got just bludgeoned?
No, I think this was the year that they were bludgeoning us.
Oh,
and we came back and made it a game at the end.
Right,
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
and it all the pieces seem to be falling into place for this club.
Oh, they got a good team this year again. I mean,
why don't you move that headset right there? That's probably just getting
it's coming in from this side over here.
Yeah, now it's coming in from
scoot over a little bit.
It's coming in. It's
my God.
Won't have to take a shower.
I thought about going to the studio, and you said, "Come on out here."
I told you it was going to be beautiful.
The water's fine.
Tenneby was looking at the radar. He said, "No way, we're going to have rain all day." I'm going, "No, it only says a 20% chance."
On my way.
I guess Tenna's radar was right.
1600 Utica.
Brett can take over the rest of the show.
Well, and then this AstroTurf here, I think they washed it for us. Well, look at these are soap suds. There's soap suds all over this thing.
We're all falling apart out here.
Let's take a break. Let's try to regroup. It's pouring.
It's cold out here now.
It's coming in. All of a sudden. The rain's coming in sideways.
It really is. I don't know. I left my jacket in the car, too.
Well, let's take a break. We'll come back. We're broadcasting live. We're live for now. That could change. Twin Cities Orthopedic Performance Center, the new Winter Park. It's continuing coverage of 2025 training camp for the Vikings.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Here on the Fan.
New dates, new location, new fun. The Power Trip is headed back to Las Vegas October 23rd through the 27th, thanks to Carousel Travel. Join the guys for a Purple and Minnesota vs. Iowa watch party, plus live broadcasts, all from Tom's Watch Bar in New York, plus exclusive experiences and food and drink deals you can only get with us. Limited spots available. Book your trip at KFAN.com, keyword Vegas.
We teased that big happening like they teased the McCartney concert. What was more underwhelming to you? Seriously. Power Trip goes to Vegas or Paul McCartney.
Get ready, Minnesota and Nevada.
Yeah.
The Power Trip's coming.
Oh, boy. How exciting.
I would go see McCartney.
You'd have to force me at gunpoint to get on the plane with meat sauce.
Well,
and even then I would try to wrestle the gun out of your hand. It's raining really hard again.
Oh, man. During the commercial break, it slowed down for a couple minutes.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever going to stop raining.
No, doesn't feel like it.
I think I just see my car floating down Viking Way right now. I don't think they're having any practice rounds at the TPC of the Twin Cities right now.
It's a good point.
I think 3 of them open practice rounds, so I have to stick the tee in the ground tomorrow and just play for real. I don't recall how many years this is now, 5 or 6. They just signed the new 5-year contract. We had Hollis Cavender on Saturday on Tee to Green, and they got 5 more years coming. But, you look at the field, no, they're not going to have Scotty Scheffler. They're not going to have Rory McIlroy. I don't think they have any top 10 players, though they have, I think it's close to 50 of the top 100 players in the PGA, and they've got some former major champions here, including Wyndham Clark. He's not allowed in the locker room. Apparently, he's going to have to change outside. They're concerned about the locker rooms getting through a tournament. Also, Adam Scott. Tend to be his wife's favorite golfer.
She'll be out there.
He was a late.
She told me she wanted to go to the golf tournament this weekend.
Funny?
I'd never heard her say that before.
He's a late addition, and for a lot of these guys, the reason they're coming here is they need FedEx points. They want to be in that tournament, and you can't blame them. And some guys, I think there's probably still some guys vying for getting on the Ryder Cup.
Ryder Cup
so
points.
The better you play, the better chances you have to be. But we'll be out there on Saturday broadcasting live, and again, it's the TPC of the Twin Cities. For a guy like me, it's a torture chamber. For the guys out there, the winning score is going to probably be almost 20 under.
Right.
But it's okay. You get to see some pretty good golf up close and personal. And what they've done there in the past is Hollis would always extend invitations to up-and-coming players. Like when Morikawa came here, nobody knew who he was. When Victor Hovland came here, nobody knew who he was. Matt Wolff won. No one knew the first year, I believe. No one knew who he was.
Man, did he fall off?
Yeah, he fell off. Yeah, well, I think he's also had some
mental health.
Yeah, some psychological issues.
Yeah.
But and then he always extends invitations to Minnesotans, people with a connection. Now, Frankie Sappin made it here on his own accord. He did not need to, but he had a sponsor's exemption 2 years ago. He didn't take one last year. He wanted to earn it on his way home. But there's always a few locals that get into the field as well. So I'm bringing my lovely wife Potato out there, and my sister and my brother-in-law. We're going to go out there and watch a little golf on Saturday after tee to green. But it's we're talking to Hollis about this. We like to hear in Minnesota think, we're pretty sports centric. We've got four. We have the four major men's sports are all represented here with the Wild, Wolves, Vikings, and the Twins. You have major college football, basketball, the whole thing. You got soccer. You have the Lynx.
Won again last night.
Yep, and now you have. And you have PGA golf. And it took a long time to get a regular PGA. Now, the LPGA here was out at Edinburgh for I believe it was 7 years. Yeah. Many, many years ago, Keller hosted the St. Paul Open.
Right.
Minneapolis Golf Club at the 1959 PGA Championship. And I think the PGA Championship was also conducted at Keller. So It's not like Minnesota never had any major golf tournaments before, but now this is the first time they've had a PGA Tour event for a number of years. It's on the back end of the calendar after the Open Championship, but you can't be choosy because there are a lot of. It's sort of like there's probably a lot of cities that would like to have an expansion NBA team, NFL.
Oh boy,
Whoa.
That was lightning.
Oh boy. That looks like it was probably over by Abbott's house. That's getting a little close.
He's not home
for comfort.
Yeah.
But
it's ironic, Colin, because
but you take what you can get, right? Yeah. And so you take that week, and attendance is always really good. People like to go out there.
Well, it's ironic considering the number of major golf tournaments that we have hosted here: PGA, U.S. Open, Ryder Cups. That it took that long to get a stop on the regular PGA Tour. They had the Champions Tour, the Senior Tour here for many years.
Long time. Started at
no one was better than Hollis getting the top. Arnie Palmer would come, and it would be like a rock star. I mean, he was, again, as personable as you can imagine for any major star. Literally one of the greatest icons in any sport.
For him.
You told me that, and just watching him sign autographs and smiling and having a great time, and just to have his presence out here was sensational.
Of course, I also quit caddying after 7 holes. I went up to Arnie and said, I'm done, I'm out.
I can't do this anymore.
He said, what? I said, I'm out.
Why?
Because it is
mind-boggling.
Boring.
It was boring.
Caddying for Arnold Palmer.
I told him all the stories I wanted to tell him.
Oh, you told him stories.
Yeah. I think he appreciated that, because I'm sure, how many times do you think it's been, tell us about what happened at Cherry Hills back in 1960. And so he liked, I told him when I had to deduct, I told him the story about when I was trying to qualify for the state am and I had to deduct 2 points off my score because I hit myself with my own golf ball. I asked him if he'd ever done that. He said no. Not in competition, anyway.
Oh, man.
Well, it was just, it took a long, it was a long day. Well, I really wasn't even, I wasn't carrying his bag. It was on a cart, and people were just surrounding. He was at every single stop. He'd have to sign autographs. So it was, I really wasn't even carrying.
Well, the one appearance I think about with Arnie was, Tom Lehman, as we know, held his annual charity event out here. Dayton's Challenge, and he would get the biggest stars. He'd have a big announcement early on, and then the one year he said, "You got the big three coming here. You got Palmer, Nicholas, Player." And at Minneapolis Golf Club, and the size of the gallery was the size of a city. Following those three guys around, he had Phil Mickelson there. He got everybody, but Tiger. I think during the course of his time hosting that great event, raised a ton of money for children's cancer research, and it was fun to be kind of partners with him and that whole thing, and put on a great show. That was another time when you go, man, this is big time golf, and you watch those guys out there.
We'll take a break. One more to go. We'll come back and wait for practice to start. They should be coming out any second now. Won't be long now.
Blow the Gallahorn.
They'll be out here. We'll take a break, come back, continuing coverage on KFAN of Vikings Training Camp 2025, TCO Performance Center, right here on the Fan.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Now.
Final segment of the day of our first Training Camp 2025 here at the new Winter Park TCO Performance Center. I'm the common man, Dan Cole, along with Tennessee and the legendary Mark Rosen. Now, they were supposed to practice outdoors today. It's been torrential rain all day long. They've moved it indoors. We still have the newest Viking running back, Jordan Mason, mic'd for sound.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we do that. So, right. Matter of fact, they've started practice at 2:30 right now. I think the offense is on the field against the defense. So let's go ahead and take a listen to what's happening inside with the practice.
What happened?
Fumble. That was Jordan. I think that was Jordan Mason too that got the football. So
not a good intro to him.
Yeah,
brand new team.
I thought I didn't know he had issues hanging onto the football. I thought he was pretty sure-handed. Well,
he's going to be on my fantasy team this year too.
Well, maybe we'll take a listen in again.
He'll do better
a little bit later. Your Lynx Club. You heard Sarah Spain. Good game with Sarah Spain. 13-0 at home. Did you say 21-4 overall? Yeah. All they do is.
I watched a fair amount of that game last night from Target Center, and they pretty much dominated it from halftime on. And Cheryl Reeve can just rotate her players in and out. They're just a fine-tuned machine. And Chicago has Angel Reese on their team, but they don't have much else. And I still think there's a schedule down the road. They haven't faced the New York Liberty, their arch rivals, from the controversial championship series last year. But I think they're on the docket coming up. Yeah, well. So they're definitely going to be in the mix. I don't know if a team in their conference is going to challenge them. There's obviously some good teams, but they can stay healthy and keep Nafisa healthy. She's just we've had some great individual stars for the Lynx, as we know, over the years, and Nafisa fits right in with the rest of the Maya Morris, Mona Augustus, Lindsay Whalens, fill in the blanks, but she's just got such a great all-around game. There's not one thing that just sort of stands out and you go, man, that's just so splashy. She does this and does this. She does everything well, and everyone kind of revolves around her, but they have a deep team, and they're good enough to pretty much beat anyone, as we can tell by their record, and the response has been good. And I think the best is yet to come for this team.
So I was just looking at the schedule because I didn't realize we hadn't played New York yet.
Right.
The Lynx play them 3 games in a row.
Are you kidding? I didn't know that.
August 10th, August 16th, August 19th.
Wow. What's weird?
I'm guessing there's some intention behind that, behind the league.
When do the playoffs start? I don't even.
That is the playoffs.
Last regular season game is September 11th.
Okay.
That's the playoffs right there.
Well, that's going to be a battle royale. I mean, it got a little chippy last night at times, and when the game was out of hand, and it wasn't anything like they were throwing down or something, but you can tell I think the Lynx are getting a lot of attention, and rightfully so, because they're so good, and teams just can't compete with them, straight up.
They got a tough schedule coming up, though.
They do, yeah.
So maybe this 21-4 might be a little.
Well, I mean, they're not going to keep that
zap
going.
him with a negative.
Good.
I mean, they
They
got Las Vegas coming up a couple times. They got New York 4 times in like the next 10 games.
I thought you said 3, 4.
I said 3 in a row. They've got them 4.
3 in a row.
They play them July 30th.
That's just stupid. 4,
and then 3 times in a row in August. They still have the Fever on back-to-back games.
That's nothing. They're not.
Well, they lost them in the Commissioner's Cup without Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
They still play Seattle twice, who they lost to earlier in the year.
Yeah, they did.
It's a tough schedule down the stretch.
Well, they were through the gauntlet before the All-Star.
Maybe they're
break.
paper tigers.
Oh, boy.
A lot of negativity
Downer
coming
here.
from Tennessee, though. He thinks O'Connell should be let off the hook. He thinks O'Connell should let off the hook for any failures in postseason play.
I don't think he said that.
We
I was
sort
listening.
of, kind of said it.
No.
Let me ask you a question. Venus Williams, 45 years old. Did she won?
I saw that she won a tennis match.
She won a WTA event.
Yeah.
She actually played some youngster in one straight sets. Was 6-4, 6-3. She's 45 years old.
Yeah, Venus
hadn't
is her
played
name.
in 6 months.
That's amazing.
Or 16 months.
16 months. Yeah.
Yeah, and she'd had surgery, and
Right.
I mean, we always talk about people beating mother time or father time, whatever the
Right,
case may
right.
be. But I mean, to me, again, I don't know how good her opponent was.
No idea.
And we know Venus Williams was a terrific player, but at that age, that'd be like it's almost the equivalent of Bernhard Langer winning the Masters. That's not. Now, it's not quite as
Right.
I got carried away there a little bit. But you know what I'm saying? Somebody that you're just not supposed to be able to compete in tennis at 40. The last person to win a female to win they call it WTA, is that what it is? Event since Navratilova, and she was 47 years old, and that was
a long time ago.
early 2000s, I think.
Yeah. Well, good for her. I mean, she's kept herself in great shape, and I think a lot of the top men's players. McEnroe played. He used to play a lot of doubles, but I think McEnroe before Connors retired. Those guys could. Connors played well into his early 40s anyway, at a really high level. Competing at the U.S. Opens, and to me, for my money, he was maybe the most entertaining, ferocious player that I've ever watched. His T2000 racket, I think it was. I loved watching Jimmy Connors.
I'd like watching you play tennis. You were a hell of a tennis player.
I wasn't at Guardsy's. I had a lot some
Well,
great
you
charity
played against Laver, Navratilova, Yvonne Goolagong, Chrissy Everett. You played against Big Bill Tilden?
I played against Yvonne Lendl with Agassi.
Did you play against Big Bill Tilden?
No, he wasn't alive when I started. I don't think he was alive.
By the way, there's another 45-year-old making news as well, because Rich Hill got called back up to the majors.
No.
He's going to pitch for the Kansas City Royals. He's 45.
Well, they throw that soft junk
and
up
you
there.
feel better now than you did when you were 45,
Yeah,
so I feel like you could get back into it.
I could. Rich Hill. I'm surprised the Twins didn't sign him. Trading deadline next week.
Oh.
Yeah, but look at
that $500,000 would be too much for us, Rosey.
No, look at it this way. Pablo Lopez will come back when?
I don't know. End of August?
Okay.
Maybe.
Isn't that just like making a trade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at it that way.
Of course it is. It's just like making a trade.
Getting Bailey Ober. Hopefully getting
that's like
Bailey
making another
Ober
trade.
back.
And you say the Twins don't make any moves at the trade deadline.
He took the words out of my mouth.
David Festa is on the injured list.
Yeah,
it's funny. Every time a guy has a bad performance, they go on the injured list.
He's gone for 10 days. Sore shoulder, whatever it is.
Shoulder inflammation.
I thought he got a neck injury looking around at those home runs he was giving up the other night. He did a Brad Radke.
Wow.
Well, Donnie took him.
You're just so different. You're so
feet.
different than you used to. You used to never cheap shot like that.
Well, I'm learned from the best.
You've turned on this team, I think.
I haven't. I'm watching him. I'll go home this afternoon. Okay, I'm out of here. That's it. The lightning that just hit. Oh, yeah, okay.
It was only about a couple hundred yards from here.
Really? Do you know that stuff? I saw it crack right behind your head.
That's a couple hundred yards. That's all. It's not that far away.
Man. Just think if I got hit by lightning, your guilt would never end because.
Well, what if I got hit by lightning?
Well, you told me to come out here.
You know, say it ain't so, Rosie. The same guy once overcome a bee sting out here.
That bee
and
was
not leave.
Yeah, that bee was circling.
You toughened it out. You stayed for the show.
We're inside a metal cage right now.
I know we are. It's like me attracted. It's just like standing under a tree on a golf course during a lightning storm.
In all seriousness, Blakemore, do you have?
I have a solution.
Do you have one of those interviews wrapped up?
Yeah. No, seriously, you can go get the Kevin O'Connell press conference.
Can you get the O'Connell
It's about 13 minutes. You can go basically to the end of it.
Seriously, that lightning was literally about 100 yards from here.
Was it really?
Oh yeah. I mean, we could see it. It was right over. It's like literally 100.
We're
yards.
being serious, Brett.
Do you have it anywhere?
Yeah, I can go with Kevin O'Connell.
How long does it run?
13 minutes.
That's couldn't be any better.
Just have it go and then close it out when you're done, Brett.
And then you can close it if you have a couple more minutes to just go over your latest round.
That's how it's done.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's do that. Let's throw it to the Kevin O'Connell news conference. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 noon, and then we'll be back out here at the
Sounds good.
TCO Performance Center on Friday at 12 o'clock. But we're done for the day. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. 10 I'll see you at noon.
Great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We're going to listen up. Kevin O'Connell at a news conference about 2 hours ago. We'll listen to that right now here on The Fan.
I know we've had one walkthrough since the last time we were able to share some time together. No real updates of any kind other than the guys are love the focus, the energy. Had some great meetings last night and just feel like getting on the grass. Hopefully, we'll see what the weather looks like here in a little bit. Would love to be outside, but we'll keep you guys posted on that. But fire away.
Well, this should be the first question after you've already talked yesterday. Who's your Johnny Munt this year?
Well, I would like to say we've got, all the tight ends we brought in. We're brought in with a purpose of knowing that we feel like we've got a really, really good 1 and 2, 1A, 1B in a lot of ways, depending on the down and distance sequence. I think, TJ and Josh you'd be hard pressed to find a more complete duo in the NFL of being able to occupy really important jobs in the run and pass game. With that being said, with Gavin, obviously we drafted him for a reason. We felt like we almost got another couple draft picks with how we had him graded in obviously Ben Urosek and Bryson Nesbitt. So different players, but all those guys are going to get opportunities to play the Y, play the F, and that's really what Johnny was. He was that number 3 that could do both really well. Can we find a way to replicate that? Tough task, obviously, but if we can do it with multiple players and using different personnel groupings, we're going to figure that out over the next month. The hope right now is we're really just trying to get him to a place where he can start training camp healthy and the back's feeling better and better, but don't have any update on that right now and hope to in the next week or so.
What did you make of Jordan Addison's offseason just as a whole?
Yeah, I thought he had a tremendous offseason program. I'm not sure that, I can't think off the top of my head. He was basically in there for every rep we asked of him for the 8-9 weeks we had him. He's come back in great shape, great weight, truly taking his understanding of route running and not only route running at the top of routes, which everybody knows he's always been a world-class separator, but now he's really starting to learn nuances of, we've talked about getting off press and the physicality, but these corners are really good. They're really strong. We've got some really good ones here that are giving him some good looks, and he's getting to work his craft and understand, okay, I'm on the ball, I'm off the ball, I'm in a bunch, I'm in a stack, and how that different things. Maybe I'm doing things off motions. He's just getting so comfortable in our system. So obviously, I'm really happy with the type of work he's put in all off season. That was even on his own throughout the summer, and I'm expecting to see a great version of him from day one right now.
Along those same lines, what do you see from Dallas Turner this off season? What do you think he made the biggest growth?
Yeah, he came back from the jump in the off-season program. Just his body, the shape he was in, just looks so strong. I think he's gained a lot of strength. I think he's gained a lot of understanding of the role and flow in the guys, knowing that we basically feel about it with 2 Pro Bowlers at the position, and to say that we feel like we've got 3 starters, we really feel like that, and that's a testament to the work Dallas has put in, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities, different personnel groupings, confusing groupings that even for me, and I see it on a sheet of paper and then I see where these guys are lining up all over the place, it's going to be a really fun camp to watch those guys make that whole thing come to life. And how many snaps can we have them all on the field together? How many snaps can we see our true depth of that outside linebacker position show up? But Dallas has had a great offseason. I'm expecting a huge jump for him starting today.
Rosey talked a little about this yesterday, but you guys have proven over 3 years that the process works. The impression you've improved the team, but how much does today feel like the first step toward the ultimate evaluation, which will come 7 months from now, with getting over that playoff hump?
Yeah, I told the guys last night, I think by the down to the numbers, there's just not that much time as there used to be, and I think there's 20 practices, maybe 12 of them in pads. Still being cognizant of being smart about the sports science, that's great, but we got a lot of work to do in a short amount of time, and put a lot of pressure on this time sometimes by handling the off-season program the way we do, a bunch of above the neck work, a bunch of guys really learning what to do, how to do it. So now when we get to this time, there's not a lot of grace and margin of error of making multiple mistakes twice, or all 11 guys not being on the same page, because we feel like we have enough reps on the core base offense and defense and special teams to go practice and compete. So that's what I'm looking to see, and we know there's just not that much time before you're in the grind of 17 plus, and only then will you know if you're worthy of that moment, and we've learned that over these last 3 years.
Speedy kind of mature in your offense now that he's healthy?
Yeah, I think he had a great year last year. There's always going to be some plays here and there that you want back, but I thought just the ability for him to step in early after Jordan gets the ankle against the Giants in training camp, to have the camp that Speedy did, to be able to handle what we asked of him, not only in the weeks that followed, but in that game against the Giants, to basically assume multiple roles. I thought that was really a precursor to what was a great year for Speedy, showing such versatility. But I look at how he came back, and he understands now after all those reps and a full healthy season, there's one way to do that, and that's have your body prepared. And he certainly did that for the spring. He came back, a couple days ago looking ready to roll. And, we'll see how these first few weeks look. What type of personnel we're going to have for those games when we get all the information on our group back. And Speedy could be a huge contributor early and often all season long, and that's my expectation. He's primed and ready to play a huge role in our offense.
We talked a little bit yesterday about a more physical camp this year. Where do you expect that will show up in practices? How do you make that come?
Well, I thought last year, and I probably should have phrased it better, I thought last year it was physical, considering how our defense plays and the padded work, stacking some of those days on each other, and really looking at the type of work we're going to get in the joint practices. We've got to have a camp like that, and then you push, you gauge your team on a daily basis. We've got some players coming off injury. We've got some players that I know, whether they're new or whether they've been here with us for 1, 2, or 3 years, I know they know how to get themselves ready for what's to come when the season comes around. So there's really there's nothing that's not without intent. There's nothing that's not purposeful with how we prepare our team, and I communicate with them like that. So what I emphasize is normally what we receive in return from our players, and that's why I'm so fortunate to have this group here, because that's just how it's been with my connection with these guys.
I think you might deploy. What's your overall vision for deploying in the backfield the personnel you have now, Larry Jones and Jordan? And I know things can change over time and when you see things, but as you go into camp, what's your sort of vision for how you'll deploy those guys?
Yeah, I think you can look at it a lot of ways with looking at Aaron and Jordan, but that's how I just said it is how I see it. It's Aaron and Jordan, and there's the running back position. I wouldn't go to say it's as nuanced as the quarterback position of reps, but you want guys to be able to get in a rhythm. At the same time, we feel like we've got truly a combination that will cause a lot of problems between having two great backs that are different body types, maybe different skill sets, but they're complete backs. Aaron Jones can run in between the tackles. He can catch the ball. He can block in protection. formation. He can line up anywhere in the formation. Jordan Mason has proven already to be well ahead of new players in the system from a protection standpoint, and clearly he's got the body type to be a physical presence. So I really see those guys playing off of each other where we can keep them both fresh, keep them both in attack mode when they're in there. And then I want to see, I think it's going to be a big camp for Ty Chandler from a standpoint of you can think back whether it was Cincinnati in 23 or just different runs he had last year when he got in the game. You can think back on times where Ty Chandler has been one of our most explosive players, and he can bring that to the room while also still being a pretty standout player on special teams as well. And but how CJ and his role in the two-back groupings, maybe we activate some two-back groupings where we've got Jordan and Aaron in the game at the same time. There's a lot of things schematically that we're going to try. And then as we get towards the season, what gives us advantages? What allows us to play the most multiple way? That all circles back to the number one question of what makes the quarterback's job easier and more likely to be quarterback friendly to apply to our whole system.
Kevin, what does Ty have to do to kind of get back in the good graces? Like you mentioned, he has had some explosive runs and stuff, but he seems to get pushed down.
Yeah, I think when I think of some of the things that I'm referencing, it might not even be a play that fans notice. It might be, last year he spells Aaron or Cam for a few snaps and has a great 6-yard run on a duo, and then I go fast on a tempo pass play and we have a protection issue, and it's Ty's a smart player. He works his absolute tail off, and my hope is that in a year where he's had a lot of experience, he's coming into a critical year for himself where we're going to rely on him. Can we see just...
There you have it, Kevin O'Connell earlier today. You can listen to the rest of that at Vikings.com. Also, anything you missed from Common, they left for lightning purposes. Kind of soft, in my opinion. A wheel of topics. Brian O'Neill, Mark Rosen, all from camp. You can listen to that on the free iHeartRadio app. Bumper to bumper next. I'm sticking around with Dan Barrero. That's next on The Fan.
And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Oh, boy. Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
A treasure trove of bananas has been stolen, and it's up to Donkey Kong and his buddy Pauline to get them back. This unlikely duo is going on a world-smashing adventure, using DK's destructive abilities to explore an underground world, and the power of Pauline singing to activate wild transformations. Donkey Kong Bonanza, available now. Rated everyone 10 and up, only on Nintendo Switch 2. Game and system sold separately.